Well, here we are on week 9, and we have another essay. A nice big topic for you. Once again, we're asking you to prioritize, to select, find out what you value, find out what is secondary in importance, and then mold those ideas into an essay. Conflict is the topic of the week in our readings, and conflict is unpleasant for most people. Some people do seem to thrive on conflict. Have you noticed them in your personal life or in your workplace? They simply love to argue, they love to engage. They don't necessarily take it personally, but they could. And they come out energized from the experience. However, for most of us, conflict is a negative. We come out of it feeling drained, anxious, worried, upset, stressed. Lots of different negative emotions go along with most of our perceptions of conflict. And yet, as managers, many times we are surprised in our first few months on the job by how many conflicts end up on our desk in front of us, asking for our managerial touch. It's something that you're going to have to feel comfortable with, something you're going to have to be aware of your style. It's something that sometimes you're going to have to adjust to and maybe play outside of your strengths if it happens to get your team and get yourself to places that are more productive. The way that I resolved conflicts early in my career, that approach was based mostly on how I was raised. In a working class blue collar family, in a working class blue collar neighborhood, very direct, very blunt, either a fight or flight kind of approach to conflict. Well, that doesn't work all the time in your organization. I'm sure you found that out. Fighting or fleeing that's a fairly limited repertoire of options there. We need to expand that repertoire, and this essay is a good way for you to become more self-aware of your approaches and apply those approaches to a case or to a topic. Also, perhaps step out of your preferred style and explore other ways that might be better for a particular case or for a particular topic. The essays are always fun to read if they're well organized, if they transition well, if you've taken your time to proofread and edit. Editing means you may have to make some big changes after you've done your first draft. Perhaps you read through it and you realize that you're missing a main point here, or that you've droned on too long on this particular main point and not offered enough support for the second main point. Perhaps your introduction is too detailed, or your conclusion has a new main point altogether. Those kinds of things will jump out at you. Proofreading is simply the spelling and grammar things. Editing might involve some rearranging, some additions or deletions. I once had advice from a good writer about my writing. He said, don't be afraid to be a ruthless editor of your own writing. And what he was trying to tell me in a very nice way was that I needed to do some major work if I was going to get this particular article published. And I did, and I got it published. But my first draft wasn't even close to my final draft. Ruthless editing was in order. I needed to figure out what I was trying to say and then say it better. Let's see those final results on our discussion board. Give your classmates plenty of time to ponder your ideas. Early postings are always welcome on this, so that we can have some time to not only read, but also to think about the things that you've put in front of us. We'll see you there.